Thank you for staying with us. It's time now to take a look at stories making headlines on Nigerian newspapers. And I have with me in the studio journalist Dari Odufowokon and social commentator Smart Akpejoye. Gentlemen, good morning. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
Yeah,
good morning. All right, let's head straight to the papers. And I begin with the first newspaper. 1 year after federal government to compensate EndSARS victims, Nigeria lost 700 billion naira to last year protest. LCCI speaking there. All right, to the Punch newspaper, hashtag EndSARS panel compensation. Lagos pays 420 million naira. NBA faults Akwa Ibom, Ogun, or Benue for shunning payments. All right, to the front page of the Blueprint newspaper. 1 year after EndSARS Phantom Massacre, you should be thoroughly ashamed of yourself, federal government tells CNN. Restricted protest in Abuja, pandemonium in Lekki, fire tear gas at hoodlums who hijacked the protest police. CSOs hold commemorative stakeholder summit in Osun. To the front page of the Daily Trust now, hashtag EndSARS 1 year after, no evidence of Lekki massacre. CNN Amnesty should tender apology, federal government says. Rights group fails to respond to Daily Trust evidence request. PDP kick says police dispersed demonstrators in Abuja and Lagos. To the Nigerian News Direct, EndSARS anniversary protesters dare police in Lagos, Abuja, others. You find the details on the pages of the Nigerian News Direct. We move now to this Nigerian newspaper. EndSARS first anniversary protest rock Abuja, Lagos, other cities. You find details on the pages of this Nigerian newspaper. To the Guardian now, arrests police brutality headline, hashtag EndSARS memorial in Lagos, Abuja. Business Day now, private jet operations boom on elections insecurity. Private jet operations boom on elections insecurity. All right, to the Leadership newspaper, federal government budgets 2,178 naira for each citizen's health care in 1 year. Interesting. The federal government budgets 2,178 naira for each citizen's health care in 1 year too. And finally, on the front page of the National Economy, Nigeria revs up trade investment agreements with friendly nations. We want to quickly begin with the story on the front page of the Leadership newspaper saying that the federal government budgets about 2,178 naira for each citizen's health care in 1 year. 2,178 naira. So if you divide that by 12, that's less than 200 naira
Yes.
For health care.
Yes.
I mean, let's get your reaction quickly because this is mind-boggling for me.
That's what it is. I assume that this figure was arrived at by looking at what is the budget for health and dividing that with the projected population of Nigeria, and we have this. You see, and let me put it in perspective by saying this is for health, your total health. As an individual in Nigeria in a year, 12 months.
12 months.
But if you go down or you contract Qatar and code once, the cheapest medication you pay for will be around this
2,000
whatever. That's the easiest. That's first aid. That, okay, let's hope it will go. Then you pay. So if once you spend this, then you wait for the implication of not having money to take care of yourself. You see, when we budget, we should put human faces to our budget. Maybe we are budgeting for figures, 2 million Nigerians. We don't, sometimes maybe we forget that this 2 million figure is actually refers to human beings.
Okay.
What is the budget for Aso Rock Clinic? What is the budget for medical facilities for a governor? If you look at this, then you see the disparity, then you understand that this is actually budget on paper without consideration for those that it is actually meant for.
Smart. Let's get your perspective.
First, I perhaps would have probably want to ask the government. It is based, this 2,170 something, 78, is based on what? Do we really have an accurate census, the population of Nigeria? No, we don't. You see, even within the government circle themselves, they contradict themselves. A governor will come out today, or a minister will come out today and say we are 200 million. Another minister will come out today and say we are 180 million. We don't have our budget. And I keep saying that our budget has always been, our population has always been faulty. We have not really had an accurate census in this country. Quickly, when Tinubu was the governor, side by side, he was conducting census. He came up with a higher figure. The federal government came up with a lower figure. The census tribunal, whatever, revert back and say this is the population of Lagos. Even at the last election, you can see that Lagos has a higher population. So which figure are we using on this?
To determine.
Beside that, does government need to budget on health? No is the answer. Do you know why?
Yeah.
If government has followed thoroughly the health insurance
scheme,
today there will be some fund that will be set aside for the federal and state health sectors that they will use as a form of a palliative in the health sector. Today, the government, you see, our problem has been we have always had our things free. Besides, sincerely speaking, what every Nigerian should do, provided you have an income, you should contribute to your health, to your health insurance. And that will create a lot of jobs. If the health insurance...
But how can the health insurance even really work with this kind of... Because the government also contributes
if we have a good health insurance, we don't need this, because if we have a good health insurance, we'll probably be talking about an health sector that will be running almost about 2 trillion.
Yeah, but what happens to those without income?
Yes, those are the people now that the government will now take care of.
That's why the government must budget.
So now,
what happens to health facilities across the country?
What I'm saying now is that, you see, if it's an health insurance, it is the strong that will take care of the weak. If you are 60, yes.
I think Nigeria is yet to get to
we are 60. You see, if the moment you are 60 and above, the moment you are 60 and above, and you don't have a means of income,
I'm a pensioner.
you can walk into any health facility, they will attend to you. Because even all those that pay the health insurance, all cannot be sick at the same time. I can't remember the last time I have an health insurance. I can't remember the last time I have assessed my health insurance. I can't remember.
And I tell you that if somebody without an insurance goes to your hospital, it will be made to pay.
That's it.
It's the system in the country. The government should I have a contrary opinion that we should improve in the budget for health. We should spend more on the citizens' health. It is an healthy
we don't have a
citizenry.
That works.
We don't have that structure. We are not there
what
yet.
I'm saying is that we must. No, you see, we
are not there yet. First, we
must
put the right things in place.
We cannot continue to say we are not there yet.
We are not there yet.
Are we there?
We are not there.
Let us go there.
We can't just go there.
The process of getting
We
there.
cannot just go
That
there.
process of getting there has been established. That is the national health insurance.
It is not working. That's the truth.
Then we must make it work.
Then let's first make it work first by ensuring that
the health insurance work.
Right.
In all the states of the federation, in all local government. Take local government staff, take state government officials, take public sector, private sectors. Let the health insurance work.
The citizens aspect to it is working. The government aspect to it is still not working. First, let's hold government accountable.
Of course.
The things they need to do. In this budget, the counterpart funding that comes with government is budgeted. We don't even see it working. You still visit NHIS hospital, scheme hospitals, and they have one. They'll tell you this particular illness is not covered.
Yes.
And that's even the little one we are doing. How much more if we leave everything to citizens? The truth of the matter is we are underfunding the health sector. Put individual health aside, let's look at the facilities itself. Government still have hold on the facilities.
Yeah.
The private sector is just participating for now. So if we get it right at this level of public-private participation, then we can move to the level, the beautiful level which we are saying. It's a grand idea. That is how it should be. That way, we can ensure that all year round, Nigerians are safe as far as health issues are concerned. But with the kind of lackadaisical attitude we have from government, even to fund its own budget and its own policies and ideas, if we just jump to that totality, Nigerians will be in their streets.
What we should do, is let us make our health reform work. If we make it work, it will reduce the stress on the government, because everybody will be involved. Because everybody will be involved.
He said something that the citizens are participating.
The work
still falls on the table of the government.
If you look at even the citizens
you
participating,
pay for this NHIS, you get to the hospital, you don't get what you pay for.
Participating, what is the percentage of the citizens participating?
Those who have income.
So many states today have not signed on to the National Health Insurance.
Right.
Now, except the federal workers. Now, what is the percentage of the federal workers? Let us bring it down.
Let me chip in something.
Let us bring it down. Let us even take it down to the artisans. Let us even take it down to the artisans.
Let me convince people that this thing is working. Let me tell you, for the federal workers who are even on it already, many of them will prefer not to pay their own contributions anymore. The states where you complain, where you said they are yet to sign on to it, the workers are praying that their governors ever sign on to it, because they see a situation whereby the doctors are made on the monies of the federal workers. They don't get adequate health attention for the monies deducted. They get to the hospitals, the drugs are not there.
It is a government failure.
It's good. So let government correct itself.
Exactly. So what we say is that if the government corrects itself,
then we can move on.
There will probably be no need for this.
So we need to hold government responsible.
Move on the budget first for now.
All right.
So since they are not there yet.
Okay. For want of time, let's quickly touch on this other matter that is, the major focus since yesterday, talking about the hashtag EndSARS 1 year after, and the government has said that there is no evidence of Lekki massacre, and a lot of people have been reacting to that statement. The government is saying nobody has come out to say that these are the persons that died as a result of that. And then there's also the aspect of government's response to the demands that there be an end to police brutality, ensure police reforms 1 year after what has changed. So I need your weighing, gentlemen, on either of these issues.
In the first place,
right,
it is unfortunate that 1 year after, we are still talking about police brutality. The EndSARS, first, was there any lesson learned from the EndSARS demonstration last year? Have there been any improvement?
Was there any lesson learned?
Yeah. Have there been any significant improvement? As far as I'm concerned, police brutality continues. One. Recently, sometime last week, you saw the video that went viral in Kogi State.
Yes.
That is a good example.
And yesterday too.
And that is just one. That is just one. Yesterday, let me even commend Lagos State. I probably want to commend the CP Odumosu. I also want to commend Yinka Igbeyemi. I also want to commend Jayola, that is task force. All those guys were on ground and they did a very good job.
But we saw some things that happened.
You see, yes, it cannot be 100%. To a large extent, they were able to create some protection. That is what we are saying. Now right. they can be improvements. Now, coming back to it, you see, yesterday I would have preferred that instead of us going to the street, let us have a summit or a conference.
There were those who had summits.
Yes, let us even discuss. Look, have there been any improvement? And how do we ensure that, look, some of those cardinal points that the IG came up with, that police cannot do this, police cannot do this to any citizen, how are we sure that that thing is working effectively? We have to. You see, in the first place, I had wished Mr. President would just come up with an executive order, or the governor of Lagos State could come up with an executive order that allows every Nigerian to every Lagosians to use their phone anytime you come in contact with police officers, because with that you can have evidence. Police brutality still continues till this moment.
I agree perfectly with everything Mrs. Mas said, and because if you look around you, what has changed? I'll say nothing. We've seen evidences of the continuity of police brutality. I can tell you, if you have not seen, that the business of collecting 100 naira on the road has resumed in full scale. Even as one major fallout of EndSARS to me is the fact that we are now under-policed. The police is hardly interested in the business of securing lives and properties now, except for things they will benefit from. If you lodge complaint at the station, if you put a call across, you receive no attention. However, talking about the memorial yesterday, I am personally very, very disappointed with the protesters, with the EndSARS memorial organizers. Why? I'll tell you, we have seen how memorials are done the world over. They claim lives were lost and we want to do memorial. Come out with pictures, have a symposium, have a memorial service of some sort, put names and faces to these heroes and heroines, celebrate them for dying for our country in a just cause. We didn't see any of that. Rather, we saw people who were ready once again to create a situation where we have casualties. I want to join my colleague here in praising the men of the security forces yesterday. Some people are all over the place saying they were beating people. I saw, not from Nigerian, not from the police, not from Nigerian media, from BBC and other foreign media organizations, pictures and videos of so-called peaceful protesters with cutlasses, daggers, and other harms of such nature. In that wise, what exactly was yesterday meant for? We
cannot call them those ones protesters because
no. They were came with. Let's make excuses for these things.
They were at the venue.
They were at the venue. Anything could have happened. Do you know they could have turned on the actual peaceful protesters and inflict harms on them?
Right.
These are the same people who saw videos and pictures of them hailing EndSARS. Some of them we saw earlier in the day, carrying flags, waving flags. Later in the day, they were waving daggers and cutlasses. In as much as I will always support the right to express oneself, peaceful protest, I will always be against things that can lead to the breakdown of law and order. That was what happened 1 year ago. There was total breakdown of law and order. Right. Anarchy took over. And we are, while I would not want to get involved in the debate over who died or who didn't die, we all can see the damages and carnages that followed.
Absolutely.
And one sector of our life that we are not talking about are the policemen that were killed. They are also human. Right. We should hold memorials for them too. If we can't find protesters who were killed, we saw policemen who were killed. Right. Let us hold memorials for those ones.
We need to leave the conversation here now because our time is up. But gentlemen, every submission has been rightly put out there, and I believe that everyone has understood the perspective. Thank you so much, journalist Dario Odufowoko and social commentator Smart Akpejoye for your time on the program.
Thank you for having me once again.
Thank you.